Okay, so we're here to rank the Halloween franchise, and so that'll be the last review from this little Halloween review series until Halloween ends. Releases, I don't know, next year after that. But I appreciate this series more for these reviews. Like, really, it feels like these reviews have had more of a. This may not be the longest review for ranking video that I've done, but I want to get into the rankings. So first of all, we have our the lowest movie on this list is Halloween Resurrection. Don't know how many times I've said this. I hate this movie. I really do. From the whole found footage aspect, which I think really is not even that good. I don't really like found footage movies. I'll be honest with you, but this feels like some stupid movie that just makes a mockery of this franchise. You go from the original to this. This isn't to me a Halloween movie. Michael just feels like a stupid character in this movie. He doesn't feel like this. He feels like an idiot in this movie. But for me, I think what they should have done to make this movie better is not kill off Laurie, one thing, and just get rid of that whole shaky cam horror show thing. And he gets beat up. He gets killed by then there's that line trick or treat mother, which is one of the stupidest line deliveries. I can't understand why anyone takes this movie seriously. It is a movie that should not be watched. I think this movie is one of the worst horror movies of all time, and if you have a chance, do not watch Resurrection. It's honestly a crappy film. That's what ruins the H2O timeline for me. This movie does. But the next movie on the list, coming in at number 11, is going to be Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. The bad thing about this movie is, and the really bad thing about this one is, it is so uncreative. It really is. And it tries something new. Halloween 6 tries something new. That's okay. But the Cult of Thorn crap is just so stupid. I like how Halloween kills when they don't give an explanation why Michael kills. But this explanation is just so silly. I don't understand it. And plus, Michael rapes his niece Jamie to make his nephew, maybe also his great nephew, or maybe his son. This is sick. Honestly, that's a sick thing. And I think that's what this movie did wrong. It just tried so hard to be. Just to explain stuff. Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle was an interesting idea. But I think they failed ultimately. They really did. The movie feels like a continuation of a thing we didn't even need. And it really, like I said, ruins the whole the Thorn trilogy. Halloween 4 was okay, but this movie is just really, it's bad. It really is. Hey, but it's better than that crappy Halloween Resurrection. That movie can rot in the deepest pit of fire. I don't care. However, I like Michael's mask in this movie. It goes closer to that. It's close enough you can get to the Halloween 1 and 2 mask, but I think he dies at the end by being injected by some special green serum, which is. There's also an ending that shows like the man in black that gets attacked by Loomis and the cult of corn the cult of Thorn tattoo appears on his wrist. Don't understand how that works. That makes this movie even stupider. I want to move on. But at number 10, we finally have reached the Rob. Nah, we have finally reached Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. In fact, in fact, just makes a mockery of this franchise. This movie, for me, just kind of made the franchise it just divided it. This is the first film that I really think, although it's better than The Resurrection, and I'm glad they did it. It was time they made remakes. But the Rob Zombie he made a good movie, The Devil's Rejects. But this movie is not good at all. It feels so unbelievably boring. And it's just so bland. He does take a different approach, which is okay, which is kind of okay that he needs Michael's nurture to be an evil. But I don't know. I still don't like this as much as it was just his nature. I don't like this explanation. Plus, the Laurie Strode in this movie by Scott Taylor. I don't know what her name is, but it was this girl. I mean, she did not do good at all. It was probably the writing. She's an okay actor, but it was the writing. I was thinking about putting Halloween 5 here, but I still hate that movie so much it's going to be coming in at number 9. But again, ain't got much to say about this movie. It's just kind of bad. That's. Now we get into the movies that I find. There's only two real bad movies up in this list. Coming in at number 9, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Halloween 5. You might say, well, what about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Better than that. This movie, if you couldn't tell in my review, I really hate it. I honestly hate this movie with a passion. This movie for me is so crappy. Like, you just really can't. I don't understand why it was popular. Hey, do you know Jason Takes Manhattan made more at the box office than this? The crappy Jason Takes Manhattan made more at the box office. This made 11 million. That movie I think made 14 million. Still, that is sad. How this franchise went from, I think, Halloween. I'll pull up some box office charts. I've checked this out though. I didn't yesterday morning, and it's sad that this movie is worse than Jason Takes Manhattan, and it is. I really prefer that movie over this one. But Halloween 5, take a giant L and just go. No one likes you. What they did to Michael's mess still looks stupid in this one. Jamie is just they get rid of her good character. They bring the stupidest character in the series, Tina. She's one of the worst characters. They kill off Rachel, one of the good characters from Halloween 4. And I guess that was their goal, make a bad movie. Really, it was. And I know some people like this movie. I don't even know. I get confused with the posters even. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 4, The Return. They're the same posters. You can tell Halloween 1 and Halloween 2's poster apart, but you can't tell these apart, probably. Halloween, all these posters you can tell apart for the most part, but this movie you just can't. But maybe that's, I don't know. There's no appeal to this movie. I don't want to talk about it no more. But moving on, let's talk about our number 8 spot, Halloween 2. The Rob Zombie Halloween 2. Not the original Halloween 2. I love that movie, but the Rob Zombie Halloween 2, I don't entirely hate it. Truth be told, this movie isn't bad, but it tries something new, and it's an okay film. I'm not going to call it bad. The movie, at least it tries something. It tries something new, because Rob Zombie's Halloween was a really bad movie, and I think it deserved the hate it got, because that movie was just so uninteresting. This movie tried something. It tried something new, and I give it credit for that. I don't give if a movie tries something, I will give it enough credit. And I like the idea of Michael being a hobo. What is he supposed to do? Go get a job, apartment? But the way the actors are in this movie is so unbelievably unbearable. And I mean, I like the idea of the mask being the thing that makes Michael kill. Like whenever it's off, he's just a hobo. We don't really care. But whenever that thing goes on, he gets angry, and that's when he kills. I like that idea. I like the mask design. Unpopular opinion, but I think the mask design in this movie isn't that bad. Really. It isn't. But I still don't like this movie that much. I still don't. Being honest with you, this movie still is one of my least favorite in the franchise, but it still is better than most of these movies. And I'll give it that credit. So coming in at number 7, we're going to start. I'm going to put Halloween 3. Yeah, Season of the Witch. Don't judge me. I don't. I like this movie more than I used to. I really do. Because, and don't get mad, this movie tries something. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch tries something, and I think if this wasn't a Halloween movie, it would have been great. But they had to call it a Halloween movie, and I like the idea of it being in this. What if it could have been an anthology? It was good to have Michael back in 4, but this movie tried something new, and it succeeded. No, it didn't. 3, man, I still think it's better. This used to be my least favorite movie in this whole franchise, but to me, this one is still a better movie than most of those it can stand as a movie, and it's okay for that reason. I really don't hate this movie. For that reason alone, I don't hate it. There, I said it. I don't hate this movie. Don't judge me. I don't hate it. The characters, I think Atkins in this movie, the guy played by Tom Atkins, great character. I love that. I love they killed a kid in 1982 in those gruesome scenes, like the silver. And I like the idea of the Silver Shamrock mask. It's cool. I don't get how it's confusing, but it's something different, and that's always good to see in a horror franchise. Am I right? Looking at you, Halloween 4, 5, and what's the other? Here's where it might get controversial. I'm gonna put coming in at the number 6 position, Halloween 2018. Yeah, it's not as good as you think it is. It isn't. It really isn't. And here's my reasoning behind that. This movie is boring, and it's very boring. I think this movie was cool because it did bring us back to the Halloween timeline. I'm glad Laurie's back. It was great to see Jamie Lee Curtis back after those abysmal remakes and the abysmal resurrection. But they had to screw it up. The characters are so uninteresting. Allison's a good character, and Karen, she's just mean. No wonder she dies in this one. She's stupid. She didn't believe. She saw that she heard about the murder. She thinks Michael's not going to return. Of course, Michael's. Look, and I like Hopkins' character in this movie because he's very good. He's very good in this movie. But I just think this movie is such a bore. It's a better movie than any of those behind it. Halloween 2018 still isn't as good as what's up to come, because these next few movies are actually good. I don't know. I think once we pass that whole Halloween 2 remake, I think we're into the good movies. Yeah, I said Halloween 3 is a good movie. But this movie, it's good. I'm not gonna say. I was happy to see Michael back, and it was great seeing him on the screen, the real Michael. And I love the actor who plays him in this movie. He's very good. But why retcon Halloween 2 is one of my favorite movies in this whole franchise. You'll see what plays that. I'm about to make some controversy on this list, but I truly do love this movie. The theater experience was so awesome, but that still don't make up for its flaws. And the final part was interesting, and I liked the part where they trapped Michael in the cage. Now look, it just made him just more scary. How he just burns and he just watches. He has no care. And Laurie is really good in this movie. Those reporters are a-holes, and they were trying to force her, the podcasters, but they were trying to force her to answer the questions and stuff. But I don't like them. My favorite character over there. But so I think this is a good place for this movie. Coming up at number 5, Halloween H2O. H2O is great. I like it a lot. It's good. It was good seeing Laurie again. Remember, we went through that whole cult of thorn crap just to see Laurie. There's a problem with Michael's mask in this movie, which I'll address in a minute. But his masks do look kind of wonky. His mask in this one, they used 4 different masks. But should just use the one from the Curse of Michael Myers, which, even though that movie was bad, it still was better than the Sam Weinstein, or whatever, Winston. That one looked better than most of these. There was a CGI mask they used because they didn't feel like going out to the place. And there was another mask that looks just so stupid. But, I mean, it does make sense. Laurie's paranoid after all these years. And this movie, it was a great return to form. It really was. Laurie taking on this new identity is really cool, and they moved to California. If it's not California, let me know, because if it is, I think it's California they moved to. Or do they go back to Haddonfield? I don't know. But I like this timeline. It's good. But I still think they could have connected this to the Cult of Thorn. But you know what they could have done? Retconned Halloween 5 and 6. Here, I said it. retcon Lori dying in the car crash. Maybe she was hidden the whole time. She thought maybe that was a lie to keep her safe. Maybe yeah, that could have been. Yeah, you could use that. Jamie could have been a daughter. We could have seen her and her son John teaming up, and that could have been a good Halloween H2O. Retcon 5 and 6. Let's just be honest, none of us would miss that. And you could continue with the resurrection timeline, except Laurie doesn't die, and that was Michael. But he comes back. You would never need the Rob Zombie movies. You could continue that series to get to 2018, where her daughter Karen is her youngest daughter, who basically, or not her second youngest daughter, who haven't been revealed to yet, and that you could have fit that all the time. It'd be a little wonky, but you could have made it work. My thoughts on this movie, it's just good. It really is. It's better than the ones we've seen past this, but these next few movies are better than it. Speaking of next few movies, number 4 we have Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I said that way. The Return of Michael Myers is, and definitely is, a boring, or is a bland, pretty. I don't like this movie really. Most people would put this in their top 3, and a lot of people love this movie, but I don't. I really don't. The mask is stupid looking, but Jamie, Danielle Harris does a great job as Jamie, and I like this movie more than the rest. I think it's at number 4, so it's good. But really, you have to kill off Laurie Strode again. Why? That was the stupidest. I know she was doing that. She was doing another movie, but dude, why do you gotta make money that bad? You waited 5 years. No, 6 years to make a new movie, but you couldn't wait a little longer until Jamie Lee Curtis was free. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, I just don't have much to say about this movie. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. Guys, at number 3, it's going to be Halloween Kills. 2021 movie I just got done watching last night. And the movie was great. It really was. Great return to the form for the series. And it shocked me in a lot of things. Michael, this feels like old Michael. This don't feel like that new Michael that the Resurrection and H2O was in the remakes did. This is way better than 2018. It has better character. The characters are great in this. The ending shocked me, although I think it was a little stupid having Laurie's daughter Karen dying. But the movie at least tries. Like I said, it's better than 2018. It tries something new. It's got good graphics and good kills, and it's got good characters. Allison is better in this movie. Her boyfriend who cheated on her, didn't like that guy. I was starting to like him before his death scene. Ugh. Michael Thomas, no. And that death scene shocked me. It was the gruesomest one. Yeah, and the worst part is the guy's still alive, and Michael doesn't even care. He's just not gonna leave him to die to bleed. He just snaps his neck. Yeah. And do I think his Laurie's daughter Karen's gonna die? Is dead? No, I really don't. I honestly think she's gonna live. They didn't even show us where he was stabbing herself, or that could have just been an hallucination. I don't know. Well, moving on to number 2. This is where I'm gonna get some hate. Why am I gonna put this here? But it's John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween. I don't want to. This is the old. I feel bad, Michael. I'm sorry. I just prefer Halloween 2. How am I gonna say this? Yes, this movie is a masterpiece. One of the best horror films of all time. It's a classic. Everyone knows about this movie. Everyone should know about this movie. Michael is his best in this movie. But I don't know what makes me like Halloween 2. These switch. I'll let you know that. Tomorrow it could be Halloween 1 over Halloween 2. So you want to know what I want to do? Even though 2 is ahead of this, I'm going to combine them all into 1. For the first time in this series, even though technically this is number 2, number 1 is Halloween the Night He Came Home, combined with Halloween 2. Drew, that don't work. These are different movies. Well, excuse me, but on my list, and you wanna know what I say? These movies happen the same night, and I'm gonna connect them. But wait. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't, because the new one connects the same night, and I didn't connect that, so I'm not retcon my own opinions. Yes, Halloween 2 is, in my opinion, better than Halloween 1. Halloween 1 is the superior movie in directing, but this movie, Halloween 2, stick with me because it was the first ever Halloween movie I watched. And speaking of which, that's number 1. Halloween 2, 1981 is my favorite. I love all the characters in this movie. I love the reveal of it's kind of stupid, the reveal of Laurie being Michael's sister, but I like the idea. I like it. But the movie is great. It really is. It's my second favorite horror movie of all time. Only behind Friday the 13th, Part 4. But if you want me to review my favorite horror movies, I guess I will someday. Next year, maybe. But this franchise really is one of the best horror franchises. And I like the whole hospital theme in this movie, and I think this will wrap up this whole franchise on this channel. Until Halloween ends come out, I'll make an updated ranking for that, so just tune in whenever that happens. Please tune in before, that'll probably be 2 years, but really. So, a few words to say about this franchise. A classic franchise that died slowly. And it's had good movies, and we may be seeing the revival. This is this series with the rise, fall, and rise again of the Halloween franchise. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy.